Dr. Kesela to Forson about the ready budget on Thursday evening. In Gofadre Omuhe, Ebiania Jesse Oba Obeyo, and in Gofonso say, Nadia budget mabe kind 2x4 my ayetiene basabasa sano. In Gofo atubia mania to Forson. Ebin so kasa, sa in Samania Mode sa to Forson. Is it because I'm on net show you so because we're going to interview? And what's one of them? Somewhere before, hey, Uncle Atta. This is FMS Trends, and here we give you the latest updates on issues. My name is Maureen Michelle, and you can call me the Information Minister. I'm here to serve you all the gist. Now, you're in Twaso. Dr. Priscilla Chumesi Bafo, who is a senior lecturer at University of Ghana, Department of Economics. I can say, Ghana, we are enjoying the current economic stability, but we have to work hard and maintain it. We must guard the current economic stability that we have. And you say, "Bia, nyamana ayafo ya tete nyama so economics bibi ekoye ewo Ghana economy ni muntino yebe yi ani sa no. Yentimi nyama basa pinso tantan sa yenti Dr. Bafo."
I must say that it is not surprising what we heard in the budget. This is the last budget in the 3-year period of the IMF program. And so essentially the budget is very heavy on fiscal discipline for Ghana to maintain the path that we are on. We are excited about the stability we observe currently. And this stability is critical. And when you look at what is in the budget, you see that the government is riding on the stability to move on to other things, which is important because we say that there is the need for us to invest in the structural challenges we have, which consistently makes the growth of the economy not very employment generating because unemployment is increasingly becoming a problem. And so it is not surprising that the budget lays a lot of emphasis on fiscal discipline. And for us as analysts, we are watching the space, particularly as the country exits the IMF program next year, mid-next year. Because we know that historically, when Ghana is under a fund program, we do well. We perform excellently. Because when you look at the statistics Yao shared, you see that everything is on track. GDP growth is on track. We have achieved a single-digit inflation, which was even towards the end of the year, is being achieved currently. And so going forward within the budget, what is interesting to me is the way the government is using the stability we have obtained to try to go into the future in terms of infrastructural projects, in terms of budgeting for employment, for example. For someone with labor background, I'm excited to see that increasingly we are focusing on jobs when we talk about budgets in this country, which is critical. And so I see that this budget is also quite sensitive to the needs of the Ghanaian people in terms of social protection. Investment in education and health. All these are on the back of the stability that we observe. And I must indicate that the stability we are presently enjoying is the fact that a number of sectors are doing well, particularly on the back of gold and cocoa. Right, and these critical minerals, the pricing is determined externally. And it's also because of some of the turbulent situations we've seen on the global front. That is why gold has done significantly well in recent times. And so going forward, I think that the investments locally, opportunities for value addition, employment generation, so that we build resilience in the situation where gold underperforms, in the situation where cocoa underperforms, that should be the direction of a fallback plan. Exactly.
And one other thing is the choice of the areas government wants to invest, to bring about the growth in employment figures we are seeing. Government chooses to invest in commercial agriculture, in this case palm plantations, and the expectation is that many jobs will be created in there, and also investment in roads. Government speaks about the Accra to Kumasi Expressway, which is expected to create some 300,000 plus jobs. You know, do you think that is the way to go from what you're saying, Doc?
I think it is important, but when we talk about employment generation, we should also focus on the generation of sustainable and decent jobs. Okay. Because when you look at the 300,000 jobs in the construction that is proposed, you see that these are temporary jobs. Okay. And so essentially, but it is important. I think we need to start from somewhere. My only reservation is that a lot of these big projects are usually consistently promised in budgets, but they are not delivered. And so when you look at this, I'm looking at the funding sources, for example, the proposed funding sources for this. You see
that's for the road project?
Exactly.
Yeah, government says they budgeted 30 billion.
Exactly.
Ghana cedis for the big push.
For the big push, yes. Right. So the big push, I think that they are budgeting that from the ABFA, and there's also the proposal to use some of other mineral resources, sure. Proposal for private public partnerships. Yeah. And so when it comes to, for example, public-private partnerships, the private sector would want to ride on the confidence that we have, which is the stability. And that is why I insist that the stability we are observing, we need to guard it as much as possible. Because anything that derails, that means that all these plans will be thrown out of gear. And so essentially, if the private sector is going to partner with government, they need some level of certainty. Sure. Some level of protection, and also some level, projection of the revenues that will be out there. And so you look at the reintroduction of tolls. Yes. When the highways are done, we know that there will be some introduction of tolls. Would those be enough for private sector to be able to get their investments back in due time? These investments are very long-term investments, yes. And that would require some level of continuity in our governance space. And so, for example, I think that as a country, we always insist on the need for us to think long-term, and that the periodic changes in government and shifts in policy stance do not really augur well for investment, particularly if government is going on the tangent of PPP, which is private sector participation. They need that assurance, and they need that level of continuity to be able to do that.
That's fine. Thank you so much, Dr. Priscilla Chumesi.
Dr. Bafo Kasa no Kofi Bento of Amani Africa so Kasa. And Kasa na me Kasa na bia me be chairman the economy na den. I'm just here to praise Atta Forson, to commend him for his stewardship. I say we are taking responsibility na all year adwuma no. And yes we train say deputy bi na ya form a committee to be decide man no. Atta take responsibility. Atta is Forson and Kasa. Atta Forson is Forson. Yes! Atta Forson is Forson. Enti ono de nye se bi obeye na po e cons Ghana economy na yesa debi. Nothing Milan say he wants to praise and commend Atta Forson for stewardship.
This economy. So I give him 4 marks for that. All right. But what we must appreciate, and Prof was telling you about some of this, sometimes economics is math. 2 + 2 is 4 in Kokomemle, and it's 4 in New York. And they are the professors, and they can tell you, when you understand what is going on, you can tell where things must go. So, yeah, we had that forum, and we thought, yeah, this should be the general, trajectory. And they have gone by it. The other issue is that we are under what we call in Imani adult supervision. That is IMF. 17 times. And every time we have been under IMF, we have conducted ourselves well. All right. So I commend him for being a good shepherd. But the best sailors are those who can manage the ship in the storm when nobody else is helping them. What I mean is, when the IMF is gone, when you have to deal with the political pressures and everything coming, that is where we will know the stuff he's made of.
Na so on the makasa budget then say you call the man of the moment Dr. K.C. Forson, who is the finance minister of Ghana and also the defense minister, acting defense minister. Now to Forson ekotena TV3 for show bi so. Na some kan inane say ono uncle ato otena se osese put one or two things together no. Once a Ghana and Kasa, your problem a waste management. Your problem it's your headache a waste. And a Ghana for a problem. And if we are able to cut waste down in this country, which is a key problem in this country, cutting it down is key to the nation's progress. Yeah, cutting the waste down is key to the nation's progress. Nature say, Ghana waste na. Uncle to say. When we say Ghana for your problem, yet me cutting it down yet me who be oh, ya ni man ya kono, you are moving forward. We are moving forward.
I've always said Ghana's problem is waste. See, we waste money too much. There's too much waste in the system, and if we are able to cut the waste, this country will progress.
But how come that these fictitious claims? Duplicate, recycled IPCs, inflated invoices, falsified stores receipt, all of this, the system in the Controller and Accountant General Department. Anyway,
you cannot blame the controller. Controller is. Who should I blame? You can't blame. I think it starts from somewhere. For example, if an IPC has been issued, the IPC wasn't issued, for example, by the Bank of Ghana, for example, by the controller or by the Ministry of Finance. It was generated by a ministry department or agency.
Which is still...
And then going through the process, so they sign and bring it and charge it against their budget and bring it to the Ministry of Finance.
So it's a systemic collusion.
Exactly. And also, I think there's a lot wrong with our PFM architecture, public financial management architecture of this country. The situation is that today, government of Ghana is at the mercy of a contractor to be able to ascertain how much the state owes to ex-contractor. This is wrong.
Ato Forson akasa motie na wasaka asem bi Ghana for say na Ghana as a country was kasa. You see recently now in Ofori demonstration online for kasa and the pokwase in sawam kwan enyenyenyenyenye wan kasa wo fi Kumase kwa Accra wo bi. Sensuo na atwa enye mo na matechem saa ka na chia de nemu na se ewia na abo na the place is dry and then food trouble bomo no when nya bibia nkata wo hina nti focus to in Sawam road ni de a problem ankasa and recently na nkofo kan wasem online aden na politicians moye saa and aden nti Ato Forson so I read the budget moti wasan kasa say Ghana your problem baako waste. Into it, we are moving forward.
A chunk of the arrears that you audited, the 68 billion cedis that you said, look, you are not going to pay. You want the Auditor General to audit these arrears.
$70 million. I'm a contractor now. In Sawam Pokiasi Road, you know. Contractor no. Since he assumed office as the finance minister of Ghana.
A chunk of the arrears that you audited, the 68 billion cedis that you said, look, you are not going to pay. You want the Auditor General to audit these arrears to confirm whether indeed these are legitimate claims that are being made. You touched briefly on it in there that about 10 billion cedis out of the 68 billion had been disallowed. And I've been looking into the interim report of the Auditor General. It seems quite concerning. But with this big push, I saw that the Pokwase Islam Road has been captured.
That's correct.
But in 2022, you were in Parliament. Some $750 million was taken from the African Exim Bank alone to construct this road. Where's the money? What did the money? What do you use the money for?
I can tell you that there's no money left. The money has been spent.
750 million
has been spent. It was spent before I got to the ministry. And the road is still in progress since I became a minister. We have paid 77 million United States dollar equivalent to the contractor. As we speak, the contractor has not generated additional invoice, but I can assure you that if he does generate the invoice or IPC, Government of Ghana will pay that invoice and to make sure that that road is completed.
But to the extent that the loan was taken in the name of the people of Ghana.
Yes.
And what the money was supposed to be used for, not just for the, this focusing Salom Road, the 750 million. There were quite a number of projects, the Swami interchange and so on. But some amount of money was supposed to go in there. If it has not been used for the construction, is it something you are minded to look into?
Oh, yes. I think I've already looked into it. I've seen that part of the resources was used for other expenditures other than the construction of that road.
Other expenditures like what?
I don't have the details with me, but I think if you are minded, by Monday I can share the details with you how they use the resources from that particular loan. It was paid into an account, and how money is fungible and everything went just like that.
But the entire 750 has been drawn down.
It has been drawn down completely. It was drawn down bullet.
It's a bullet like at once.
At a go.
Na mati uncle atu sika dodoa sika o sika puduo a o metu ama contractor $70 million. Say contractor yenko for kasa dodo say pokuase nsawam road no yenye ho adwuma omo bre omo nam so ano mo kon na chiachia ntino boaye ye adwuma no nti osisika ga na atwia no oye saye ya na Professor Gyampo say ato eneme bo wabaso I Professor Gyampo. Professor runs for Gyampo, the CEO of Ghana Port Authority. Me bo wabaso ato. Ato, we are very humble. I'm praising you for your humility. Just say we are responsible. We are BBA, we are jankasa. Also, no see a legal practitioner, a lawyer Martin Kpebu. Martin Kpebu so fire OSP kakra. And yes, you are to abasonana OSP afan already. I say the attention is on. Ato Forson Derby. OSP so bejenedi no also as more catch OSP and say the office of the special prosecutor being headed by Kisia Jebin or say so penim guasia resigning from the position no OSP ni jai ho adwuma fi say nim guasia na eba ne doso what your man you na share ken for yatama ni free hakoi just say ye praise atona na just say lawyer Martin Kpebu so the nam fa yenti omien.
See, I drove in here to see Atta Forson's car parked there. Minister of Finance, Acting Minister of Defense.
Yes.
He drove in here alone. Okay, he drove in here.
In fact,
alone.
We didn't know that.
No sirens, no motor skates, no bodyguards, and he came seamlessly here. I said, "Is that Atta Forson?" He said, "Yes." Please,
yes.
If it is good, it is good. If it is nice, it is nice. If it is commendable, it must be commended.
Yes.
Okay. Previously, we would have had the whole place cordoned off.
Yes.
We would have been stampeded here with security, national security, and what have you. I saw my brother. I'm sure Zato would come in here, interacting with the finance minister and telling him about the roads in his area.
Tumu.
And then I heard you, Martin, asking, did you have this same opportunity with the previous finance minister?
He never got a handshake.
He never got a handshake.
No, he never got. He never got a handshake.
He had a hug. Exactly. He had a hug with Atta Forson.
Yes.
He will speak for himself. So my point is to commend Atta Forson for the show of such humility and simplicity. Okay? Empty barrels make the most noise. Ato, Ghana is peaceful, but human beings are bad. So at least one bodyguard around you would be good. Don't come here alone without a bodyguard. It shows simplicity and humility. But Ghana is peaceful, but human beings are bad.
Right on.
Okay. Yes. So I'm here. So thank you. Somebody asked me that Did I go looking for Furiata? Praise the KJ. Yes. When I left, yeah. He said, these 2 weeks you are away. Were you looking for Furiata? Then I said, oh, that wouldn't have been a bad idea. The point I'm making is that so the search is on and still on the special prosecutor's case. We want to remind Kisi Ejabin that look, I beg he should just do and resign. The way he allowed Oforiata to run away, no, the game is over. The way he sat down, said we watched him leave. He said he got intel. He intercepted the letter which showed that Oforiata was about to travel, and he didn't tell the people of Ghana. He said, "Jabin, pack and leave. Pack and leave quickly. You've lost moral authority. You can't do this job." So once again, I want to thank.
The prescription I yedema Ghana economy ye buy say ye ba fix it. The prescription for fixing the economy no adwuma. It is working. Yanka say ka say ye buy ye be no. Manka se monyi twia. Ye buy no so ye nso ampa. Into ato force and say prescription no mo dey to so say oh we are here to fix the economy. We are here to do this no Charlie. I work papa. Aye adwuma ankasa. Ama MPP for who she omo ankasa. Yenti out for the last time.
In between the last 8 years, I knew exactly what may have gone wrong. And coming to office, I knew exactly where to go and how to fix it because clearly I've been aware of how things have gone over the years, particularly between 2017 to 2024. However, I needed to get it validated. And so I went to the market, solicit information, and it confirmed exactly what I was hoping to hear. And not only that, I noticed that the situation was far worse than I thought.
The situation you
at the market
with the people was far worse.
Far worse than I thought. And so I designed a policy that interacted very well with the situation so that the situation can be reduced.
I see.
Lo and behold, the prescription has worked, and today we are seeing the benefits. But it goes more than the benefits. Now confidence is back. We are confidence is back. An economy, you need confidence to be able to run a good economy. You need the confidence of the people that you are managing their affairs. You also need the confidence of your stakeholders, even outside Ghana. And most importantly, credibility is also important. It is important in the sense that you should be credible. Your policies must be credible. You yourself has to be credible. The government must be credible to be able to win the confidence of the people that you are managing their affairs. And clearly, the work that President Mahama is doing is supporting the credibility and is helping build the credibility that our policy needs.
This is FMS Trends. I hope you enjoyed this update. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All the videos that we played, we don't own rights to them. No copyright infringement intended. Thank you.